3 long years, not 3 months, not 1 season, but 3 full years passed before Governor John White could return. Every single day he waited for the chance to sail back to Roanoke Island. But fate had other plans. England was now at war with Spain. The mighty Spanish Armada threatened the English coast, and nearly every available ship was ordered into military service. John White could do nothing but wait. Days turned into weeks. Weeks became months. Months became years. Every sunset, one question haunted his mind. Is my daughter still alive? Has little Virginia Dare learned to walk? The uncertainty was unbearable. Finally, in August 1590, John White was granted permission to sail back to Roanoke. As his ship crossed the Atlantic once again, excitement and fear battled within him. He imagined the joyful reunion waiting on the island. Perhaps Eleanor would run into his arms. Perhaps little Virginia, now 3 years old, would smile at the grandfather she barely knew. Perhaps the colony had grown into the thriving settlement they had always dreamed of. But when Roanoke Island finally appeared on the horizon, something felt terribly wrong. There was no smoke rising from the chimneys, no children playing, no voices carried by the wind, only silence. A silence so deep, it felt unnatural. John White stepped onto the shore with a heavy heart. He hurried toward the settlement. The wooden houses still stood, but they were empty. Doors hung open. Some fences had collapsed. Nature had begun reclaiming the village. Yet something was strangely missing. There were no signs of battle, no burned buildings, no bodies, no graves, no blood. It was as if the entire colony had simply vanished. Then, John White noticed something carved into the trunk of a large oak tree. One single word: Croatoan. Nearby, another wooden post bore only 3 letters: CRO. He froze. Suddenly, he remembered a conversation before leaving the colony. He had instructed the settlers, if you ever have to leave Roanoke, carve your destination into a tree or post. If you are forced to leave against your will or attacked, carve a Maltese cross beside the message. John White searched carefully. There was no cross, only the word Croatoan. Was it the name of the place where the settlers had gone? Was it a desperate message? Or was it the final clue left behind by an entire colony that had disappeared forever? More than 400 years later, no one knows the answer. The mystery had only just begun. To be continued.